Morning, guys. It's Michael with Tech Examines, and today is WWDC Day. And what makes I think this a little bit different than every other year is the fact that Apple hasn't done a whole lot this year. And I'm sorry, my contacts are killing me this morning. So I think everyone's a little bit more hyped up about what's going on, and I think the baby's waking up, so I'm going to walk in with you guys. So, this is a little different style video, only because of the morning of WWDC. Look at that yellow door. Woo! Hey! Hey, dog. Thanks for getting up. And I'm filming with the iPhone because I've got the 70D, but I don't have a lens for it, and that should be showing up today. So, we're just going to do this little vlog style morning of WWDC on my phone, because it's best quality that I have right now. And dog wants to go outside, so go outside. And I just want to fill in a little bit of last minute stuff and what we can expect to see. So just going to do this for about an hour or two, getting baby up and get her ready to go for school and stuff like that. And then we get the day started. So some of the things that are going on. Oh no, she's still out. It's time to get up though. We're gonna go wake her up. Some of the things that that we're looking for, I kind of mentioned in the other video, but they have the banners going up showing OS 10, possibly being Yosemite, because I showed the park, and a very maverick-looking background for iOS 8 and changes to that. So I know I had mentioned about doing something about things that I hope to see a little bit different, and just a few of the things that I hope to see different on iOS 8 are things, they're not that big of a deal. I mean, on the pull-up menu from the bottom, being able to access Wi-Fi, Bluetooth right from that, instead of just being able to turn it on and turn it off, whereas I'm saying being able to select the settings to go in there and pick a Wi-Fi to pick on, tap on it and, access it. Those are just some of the little things, there's a whole bunch of other little things that I would like to see. There was a rumor, I shouldn't say a rumor, there was a video out of being able to tap on the icon and open it up, like a concept design. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't see the point of that. So you make one icon in the size of 4, and how much information does that offer? I don't know. I guess it could be cool for some things, but you just open the app. You're taking up more room on your phone than you really need to. I probably wouldn't even use it that much. So, and other things that they have going on, as far as any other hardware, it's different from year to year. We've gotten, some years, obviously, more towards the beginning, we've gotten the iPhone at WWDC. I don't think that's going to happen. I just think that's, a gimme. But if it does, wouldn't that be huge? Wouldn't that just be massively cool to see that on there? But who knows? Apple has their way of doing things, and it kind of puts a little wonder in it if that's going to happen, because they haven't done anything. And are they going to announce something like the iWatch, or are they going to announce something like the home automation thing, which seems to be getting a little bit of steam? So it'll be real interesting to see what they offer and what they bring to the table. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of iOS stuff and a lot of Mac OS 10. Are they going to update the Mac Mini? Are they going to update the Cinema display to be a 4K display? Those are just some of the things that would really be cool. And I've mentioned this all in the other video, and I'll move on and talk a little bit about it when we update it. So, this is just the morning of, and I'll have this up before 11 a.m. and leading up to the event, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time, and go backwards, 10 Pacific, 11 Mountain, 10 Central, no, 12 Central, I don't know, figure it out. and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna go wake up the baby and kind of introduce you to her a little bit. So we'll see. Are you excited for WWDC Day? Yeah? Say, hello, YouTube.
I like you.
YouTube? YouTube. What you eating? French toast sticks? Are they good? Yeah. Are they a little bit warm? That's great. So, do you think we're going to see a new iPhone today? Beth. Hello. It's your big moment. Are we going to see a new iPhone today? We are? I don't know about that. I think you could be wrong. We're going to eat and then get you dressed for school. Go see your friends. Yeah. And go see Audrey. Yeah. Okay. All right. I put you guys through enough yet? She's looking. Must be on camera. Say hello.
Hello.
And say bye-bye.
Bye.
So in case you haven't figured it out by now, I'm trying to eat a lot more healthy. And, you know, I always think more healthy is more fruits and vegetables and, you know, healthy bread and all that sort of stuff. And there are some advantages to it, and there are some disadvantages to wheat style products. And thanks to John over at TLD, I've learned a lot about it, and a little more conscious about what I eat as far as breads go, and try to limit it. Like, for example, these eggs this morning, I would normally do a couple pieces of wheat toast or rye toast or something to dress it up. And, you know, hey, listen, I'm Italian. I'm from an Italian family. Starches are big, you know. So those are some of the things that I've been trying to balance out a little bit. Am I perfect? No. But, you know, an orange, a banana, and some scrambled eggs, which I put that turmeric on it, which is a kind of like a spice. And it's a very healthy product, all natural, and again from John. Thank you very much. It's just healthy for you. It's a very good thing for your body. There is a huge list of things that it helps, prevents, you know, things like that. So I'm trying it. Doesn't taste any different. Doesn't taste any worse. It's a very bland spice. You know, you could put it in your food and you're not even really going to notice it for things like that. So it's pretty cool. So enough of the health kick thing, you know, as far as that goes. But, you know, this is what I'm doing, trying this out and see what you guys think. And, you know, checking out the interwebs and seeing exactly if there's any cool stories that are popping up last second here before the event. One of the things that was pretty cool, maybe a little bit off topic, I saw, I don't know if it was this morning or maybe a little last night, Samsung launches its first Tizen phone, which is the software they used for the smartwatch, for the Gear 2. So it goes on sale in Russia. I don't even know if that's right. I'm just kind of skimming around here. Yeah, it goes on sale in Russia in the July to September quarter. And blah 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 blah. Who knows what the specs are as far as all that goes. I'm kind of skipping through it and trying to figure it out. Okay, there's not a whole lot of information.
I was on BBC Technology, checking that out. So, but back to the keynote for today. I did mention in the video that it is streaming live, so you don't have to sit there and necessarily go to the blog sites to get that page by page update. You can actually watch it live. But some of the sites are good for their information that they give during it. I'll watch it. I'll tweet at MTP Flyers if you want to check that out. Everything that's going on during the event that is of note, and we'll do a video afterwards. But I think it's cool that they're doing it live. It's extremely helpful, in my opinion, to not have to interpret or get it interpreted for me on what someone else is saying. Because I always find that annoying. It's like, well, what do you decide to include and what don't you decide to include? So you get a lot of a different perspective watching it for obvious reasons. So I'm happy that Apple decided to do that. And right now, I'm checking out some sites to see if there's any decent information blowing through. As I mentioned in the car, that covered banner, I believe that came from The Verge, so I got to give props where props is due. I think those are the guys that did that. They got that picture for that, or at least supplied it, or was supplied to them. But there was a video on YouTube that MKBHD did. Problem with phone cases, and I watched it earlier. I'm gonna watch it again. It's not very long.
Hey, what is up, guys? MKBHD here, and this is a question I get.
You can hear about it a little bit.
When using these phones or
We'll chat.
tablets or computers or whatever, you gotta have a case for it, right? You gotta have some sort of protection that you need to worry about. But you want to protect the phone. What if you drop it? You gotta have some sort of protection on the phone.
Insurance.
For that, right? Well, it turns out the drop tests where they actually have a case on the phone are actually at least a little bit useful because they've shown that basically no case, with a few exceptions, basically no case actually prevents your phone from getting damaged when you drop it from any significant height. When you drop your phone, on the screen especially, is going to get damaged unless it's an outer box defender. So really the protection
Or you've got a
case
glass screen
is
protector
against
on.
direct impact
Those are pretty good.
between your phone and whatever surface you drop your phone on. So if you drop a metal phone on concrete, you prevent that metal from getting scratched, which is great, but so do skins. There's skins that you can apply, just like a screen protector, it's just on the back of your phone, really are thick enough at this point to actually protect your phone the same amount as a thin rubber case would against a drop from maybe pocket height.
That's funny because skins are the original cases. This is a great topic for today, especially because of Apple's keynote. Accessories started really when the iPhone 3G came out. I'm sorry. Yeah, the iPhone 3G came out. Because you had that chrome bezel around the sides, or the top, I guess you want to call it, sides and top, like, well, you guys know. And you had that plastic design, and people thought, wow, well, it's a little bit, not crappy. Well, yeah, kind of crappy. And you didn't want to scratch that bezel. I know I didn't want to scratch the bezel. And that's when cases, it seemed to start getting more and more popular. Because you had this phone that was a unique phone, and like Marquez said, now it's it's more and more about design quality. Back then it was more and more about specs, and they may not have necessarily spent too much time on the design. I mean, they did, obviously. Apple, arguably revolutionized what a phone would look like, and that's when case manufacturers really started coming about. And that's what was the big thing on YouTube was, reviewing cases and whatnot. I still review cases now and then. But, the idea of putting a case on a phone really does change the dynamic of what you're doing. Now, Marquez talking about the HTC One, he didn't mention the S5, and, the Sony Xperias and the Lumias and all that. They're really building these things a lot tougher, than you used to. And skins, like Marquez mentioned in the video, are really what started all the accessories. I remember when John Forlaker, Soldier Knows Best, Carlos, It's Me Morpheus. Those guys were doing the skins, and that was the real big thing, and I remember that. And the skins were awesome, but I was still always worried about the bezel. So I think that's where the cases took over and kind of just expanded from that. And like Marquez said, no offense to the case manufacturers in my statement right now, but everything's kind of the same. I mean, kind of bored with it. A case is a case. You know, you change the design a little bit. You know, really, there are only a few out there that are really nabbing the market right now. Everyone else is just kind of trickling in. But you know what? People are making a living from it, and they're making good money from it, regardless of how that goes. But Marquez is right. You know, these phones are meant to be enjoyed for the original form factor. I've got a case on my iPhone 5S. Why? Because I feel like it's a very breakable phone. And I can drop it and know that, you know, it can take a shot, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be damage to it. I like to take care of my things, and I like to protect them. And I like them to look nice through the duration of when I own it because, you know, unlike some people, you know, I actually have to sell my phone to get the next one. So I move from phone to phone, so I really got to take care of my things, and I think it's important to. But at the same time, you know, the design is what you're supposed to be enjoying as well. So there's a little bit here and there to go with that. Like Marquez said, are you someone that likes a case, or are you someone that likes to go naked? And this has been an argument for forever since we started doing all this. So it's real interesting. It was a great video. I really enjoyed it when I watched it, just going through it with you guys. So it's an interesting topic, especially now with phones getting the way they are. So we'll see what Apple does with their next phone. And you know, we've seen the mock-ups. Who knows what Apple's final design will look like, what materials it'll be, and again, how durable it'll be. And unfortunately, I think I'm one of those people that feels the need that I need to put a case on it because I am going to need to resell it, and I don't want it to look like crap when I go to resell it with nicks and bumps. You know, phone can take it. You know, a lot of these phones can take it, but it's not going to look good after it's done. So if you're someone that's going to keep the phone and just keep it and throw it in a drawer when you're done, or for nostalgia purposes, you know, if you like to go naked, then you can go naked. Now, there are warranties out there, you know, to get the phones replaced if you were to break it. But I think eventually that's going to get to the point where people are going to abuse that and, you know, just try to get a new phone. There's always someone that's going to ruin it, right? So I thought that was a cool topic, and we'll get off of that now. So, you know, more of that. So I'm going to finish eating here. You know, there was one thing I was thinking about as I was sitting here eating, going through the paces of websites and whatnot. I noticed a big thing coming up is getting access to iOS 8. Sorry, as it comes out. And of course, people are curious. They want to try it out. And really, to get a legitimate copy so you're not worried about, you know, any of your information out there, or worse, you know, your phone getting bricked and you're not sure what you're doing. You could pay $100 for a developer spot in Apple if you've got the money, which, you know, $100 is a decent amount of money. Or there are a lot of people that are selling spots, and I roll my eyes to that because it's not really the point of having those spots. The point is to really, you know, for businesses to really have their developers be able to access it and manipulate the system as they need to for their applications. And I think it's turned more into everyone just wanting to get it early and try it out. There's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, a lot of it is turning into us reviewing it and being able to get it early. And, you know, bravo to the people that, want to sell these spots. I'm not sure how legal it is. I don't know, the whole particulars of it all. In my opinion, it just doesn't feel right. And I have a developer spot, and I just really just give it out, to my friends and whatnot. But I'm going to be announcing a giveaway probably later on today or tomorrow, where I want to give away 20 spots. And what we'll do is, I'll announce all the particulars in the video. But I just don't feel like I want to charge people, for spots on that. Because, A, I see anywhere from a few bucks to $10 to $12 to $14 for guys doing this. And, at $10 a pop, you've got 100 spots. It's $1,000. So, I don't think the idea that Apple had was for people to profit off of it. And that's why I'm not sure if it's completely legit to be able to do something like that. And it makes me a little nervous. You fork your money out, and then Apple decides it wants to shut it down, and you're kind of stuck. So that's why I don't feel like I could sell them. So not, if there's anything that never happens with it, then, more power to them. People are happy to pay a few bucks to get it. It's your money. Do what you want with it. I just don't feel that it's right to be able to do that. But just my opinion. I may change it down the road and start selling them. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll announce that giveaway later on. So I just wanted to just talk about it a little bit, make sure I bring it up in the video to do something like that. So what else? What else do we got? A lot of what we're going to see today will be things that we read about. Things we read about we're not going to see. And it'll be interesting how Apple presents it. The event's slated for 2 hours. So who knows if they'll take the 2 hours. I've never really taken notice before to what the actual timing is for the keynote, if they always slate 2 hours and just do it as they go. I would think that they're pretty meticulous about keeping it to a certain time frame on that. So when I used to watch it in the past, I was always like, I wonder how long this is going to be. I never really looked it up. So bad me, I guess, for not researching it a little bit. So I'm seeing 2 hours. I'm seeing a lot of stuff. Now, of course, typically start off with tooting their own horns about how well they're doing, how many stores they're opening up retail-wise, and as opposed to any other kind of store. And their sales, their numbers, things like that. One of the things that just came to my mind, and we're not going to hear about it today, but I just figured I'd bring it up. Apple buying Beats Electronics and Beats Audio. I'm talking about the idea, really, of buying the streaming. What does that mean for iPods? Obviously, the push is that, it seems like we're going to start getting away from even storing music on your device, and just streaming it instead. So I'm interested to see what the life of the iPod is. A lot of kids don't have a phone, and their access point is an iPod Touch. I don't know what Apple's plans are for it, but it seems like it's kind of winding down a little bit. Now, I use my phone to stream, listen to music on what I have downloaded. And in my opinion, if these companies are not going to better their battery consumption with this device, do you really think adding another power draining function to the device is really going to help the idea of incorporating it all into one? There's got to be a point where the battery needs to move ahead exponentially to really, in my opinion, make it a truly an all-in-one device. And I say that because I've realized more and more as I work around the new house that I'm using that functionality more. I'm using the Bluetooth speaker with the phone in my pocket, listening to the radio. Listening to my music. I listen to Sirius on there, and I stream it there. I listen to Stern in the morning, and my phone is dying really quickly. And some people may say, "Well, we'll just plug it in as you're doing it." Well, I'm active. I'm doing things. So I have the one app on here that counts my steps. So I have to have the phone on myself to be able to do that. So now I turn to the idea of carrying a battery around to charge the phone while I'm working, and it gets a little cumbersome to do that. So you get where I'm going here. I just feel like eliminating the iPod is kind of shooting yourself in the foot. However, sales are dictating it. So apparently people aren't using them or, are doing an all-in-one device. I just don't know if it's ready for prime time yet. You use it every once in a while, that's fine. But heavy users are kind of left out in the cold at this point. And again, another topic maybe for another time on something like that. But I just feel like it's really not ready yet. So, my thoughts, yet again, that it's just not improved enough. And I hear people talk about all the time the newer phones with the larger batteries, and you got to notate the newest phones that came out, the LG G3, HTC One M8, the S5. These phones coming out with these awesomely huge batteries. And at the end of the day, great battery life, it lasted me 2 days. Well, how long did you use it? How much are you using it? Are you a heavy user? Did you use it heavy that time? So it's really all relative on how much you use the device. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, my friend Andy, who's on with Byte Now, told me that Apple changed their algorithm on how they use their usage, how they calculate their usage. And I have noticed that the usage time has gone up. So I don't know what they're calculating before is on time or usage time and they are now. So who knows if they did it, you're doing push and information's coming in, so they start the clock on that, so it makes it seem like you're getting more usage out of it. Who knows? Again, it's all relative. If the phone's working for you, the phone's working for you. I just know that I'm not thoroughly happy with my iPhone's battery when I use it on heavier days. Like yesterday, it lasted me till, I'm trying to think, maybe like 4 o'clock. And I'm struggling to plug the phone in, trying to find a spot to plug it in, take the time to do that. Again, I'm active. I want to be able to have the phone on my person while I'm doing that. My persons. I don't know. So, just a thought. It's a topic we can cover down the road. I can do a little more research on it. But we'll see. Is the solution the battery charges faster? Is the solution more focusing on the idea of how much the phone uses? These things are getting pretty powerful on that. It doesn't seem like the batteries are getting any more powerful. I mean, they're getting a little bit more, but they're not increasing as fast, in my opinion, as the items, the processor, the memory, and all that stuff in the devices themselves. So, without increasing the size, obviously. You get to the tablets and stuff like that, and they're doing great because they got these humongous batteries in them, and they're able to last days and days and days. But again, are we using them as much as we use our phones? No, we're not. So, food for thought. Got to wrap this up soon. I'm talking a lot. So, WWDC coming up. 9 o'clock right now for me. I'm going to finish this up and jump in the shower. Not a good visual, sorry. All right, so thank you, John. The stuff finally showed up a few minutes ago, and I'll be able to switch over to the 70D with this. Well, we'll finish the video up with the phone and whatnot, but got a nice recorder and got a really nice piece of glass for the 70D, which will be a nice addition to what I don't have. This is the only thing I have now. So it'd be real cool to try these out. Alright, so we covered a lot with WWDC, got a little off topic, talking about a couple different things. What do you guys think down below of this video? I mean, did you like it? Hit the thumbs up button. And of course, if you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button down below and check out more content. We're going to cover WWDC in full this afternoon. All the highs, all the lows. What is Apple going to bring to us? Last minute predictions. I know I talked a little bit about it, but I thought about it. And really, I think what this event is more of a software-based event. I really don't know if we're going to see an iWatch. I don't think we're going to. I don't think we're going to see something new like that. I think it's going to get its own event. Updates to some of the other things, maybe, some of the other smaller items. We'll see. I don't know. We tend to get all hyped up on these events, and then, they knock it down a few notches, sometimes even a little bit more. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with iOS 8 and OS 10, OS X 10, and what the name of it will be. So stick around for that, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. You all take it easy, and till this afternoon. See ya!